Hello and welcome to another episode on the Motherhood Circle video channel. I'm really excited that you're here with me today. I'm Ashley, I'm the host and the founder of the Motherhood Circle, and this week I sat down and had a chat with Emma from ePilates online. Now, Emma was talking about how important it is that you exercise during pregnancy and the benefits that come along with exercising during pregnancy, which, are actually pretty amazing. So we talk about some of the positions during labour and some of the positions that can help you during pregnancy to get you ready for labour and, to go through those sensations and surges. It's a really great episode. I hope you really enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it. And as I always say, grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea or an ice cold water and snuggle up on the couch. Thanks, ladies. Emma is passionate about helping women feel empowered, strong and confident through their pre- and postnatal journey. She draws on her extensive knowledge as an instructor of over 17 years, internationally certified in Pilates, yoga, barre, as a fitness instructor, as well as a health coach. She specialises in women's health, specifically pre- and postnatal exercise. She has helped hundreds of women reduce pain in their body during pregnancy, post-pregnancy and beyond. Her clients have reported speedier and less painful births by using her specific exercises and techniques, and have healed from conditions such as diastasis recti, pelvic floor dysfunction, pubic bone pain, plus generally regaining core strength and confidence. Emma's teachings are sought after by many and really helps women to love and understand their body, giving them the tools they need to make exercise an easy part of their life. Hi Emma, thanks for joining us today. I'm really pleased that you're here. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Ashley. I am super excited. Thank you for having me.
I know, I'm really excited to be talking about exercise in pregnancy because this was something that people talked about. Like, you'd go to the doctor and they'd say, move, and movement's good and exercise is good when you see the dietitian. But I didn't actually understand why exercise was so good for me when I was pregnant with my first or my second baby. But I am getting a lot more understanding as to why it is important for us now. Can you explain a little bit why exercise is so important during pregnancy?
Sure, absolutely. As I teach Pilates and yoga, I focus quite a little bit on the mindfulness side of exercise as well, focusing on the breath, because I find that a lot of people, this is not just when you're pregnant, in everyday life, we tend to shallow breathe. We tend to get a little stressed with all of our things to do in life. So when you're focusing on your breath with your exercise, then you can not only help calm your mind a little, you help to regulate your breath. So when we actually slow down our breath, we slow down our mind. We can calm the mind a little. And often, doing yoga and Pilates or even any form of exercise when you're pregnant helps you to increase your breath capacity and also your stamina. So huge advocate for exercise when you're pregnant. And also, obviously, it helps you build strength, helps you improve your flexibility. All these are important, obviously, because giving birth is, they say, equivalent to running 2 marathons. I haven't given birth myself, but I fully respect those of you who have. So you really need to be fit for giving birth. So all of these things, and also increasing your endorphins, because every time we move, we're releasing those happy hormones, which not only help us, but they also help our baby, obviously. So many reasons, that it's good for us.
That's something that I have found by doing exercise myself lately, is that even if I'm tired or even if I feel like I don't want to or my body's aching, that afterwards I feel really happy and energized, which is ironic because you'd think you'd be tired and in pain or something afterwards, but you get like this high, and that's the endorphins coming into your body, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really important. And, the more you do, and obviously the fitter you become, your body then obviously, starts to get used to the more you do. So, I think leading up to pregnancy, then, having that stamina is really important, because when you're giving birth, you want to feel as calm as you can, ideally. So if you're a little bit fitter than you probably normally would be, even, it's a good thing, definitely.
I also like the deep breathing aspect and the mindfulness and the being calm, and it's so peaceful and lovely to have that element as well to exercise and for mental health well-being as well. But you and I were talking about stretching and opening as well, and you're going to explain a little bit about how that can support pregnant women as well.
Sure. So strength is very important because a lot of us in our bodies have maybe imbalances. If we sit a lot, we were talking also about sitting a lot of us sit for our jobs. We can become weak in certain muscles. And for example, the glutes, this is a big one nowadays. We can often be weak in the glutes and it can affect our back. So a lot of women suffer from back pain during pregnancy, and strengthening the body can help reduce that. But as you mentioned, stretching and opening is also really important because you want to be obviously flexible enough when you're giving birth in your groin area, in the legs, so that you can open up in the pelvic floor even, so you can create space for giving birth, obviously in delivering your baby. So you need the two. You need actually strength and flexibility to obviously have a more comfortable birth. Often people, speaking of pelvic floor, often people think that strengthening the pelvic floor is really good before pregnancy. There's a few strains of thought around that. Personally, I don't teach a lot of strengthening, a little bit, not a lot, during pregnancy, because you actually need to open that area. So that's another, topic on opening and, releasing.
Yes. I recently was watching a debate, or not even a good debate, it was a conversation in regards to fitter women. This is totally off topic, by the way, but women who are really, really, really fit, who do weights training or, complete athletes, that they have a lot of trouble in labour, or they have longer labours because they can't actually open up and release because their pelvic muscles are so strong that they don't know how to release and open. So it's interesting that you say that you don't do a lot of work with tightening, because from what I've seen, it obviously makes a lot of sense to be able to open up and release and not hold and be tense and hold that baby in. You want to be able to open up and allow that baby to come through.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. A lot of women feel that they have a bit of incontinence during pregnancy, and some women, it's legitimate. They may have a weak pelvic floor and they may need to do a little bit of strengthening, but a lot of the time it's actually, especially when you get further along in your pregnancy, it's the space the baby's taking up in your body that's pushing down on the bladder. So your bladder, where it used to have this much space, has only got this much now. So often the feeling of needing to go to the toilet when you're further along is because you can't hold as much urine anymore. So often women will mistake that for doing lots of pelvic floor work. And like you said, that then it can be a little bit more challenging when it's time to open up. Yeah, it's
the truth. When you're pregnant and you need to go to the toilet, you feel like you need to do this massive wee, and it's like a teaspoon. And you're like, what? Because it felt like it was like a liter, but it's literally nothing.
Yeah.
So much.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so important. I think that's why I love the combination of the Pilates and the yoga, because with the little bit of Pilates, and a little bit of yoga, you tend to strengthen the right areas without overdoing it. Pilates doesn't have to be super crazy kind of exercise, but the yoga helps to open you as well.
And what about squats? Because I love doing squats myself in pregnancy, and obviously it's really hard to do while you're pregnant, but I seem to be able to do it right up to the day before I was having my baby. I wanted to get down and do those squats. Can you tell us a little bit more about squats as well and how they can help?
Good on you. Yeah, that's really, really good. I know one of my clients actually that I was teaching up until just before she gave birth, she said she saw somewhere a lady who did 100 squats a day and she had a really easy birth. And she said, that's it, I'm doing my 100 squats. And she was amazing. I actually to all my clients in my classes, I often use a fit ball against the wall so they can lean on it, and so it's a bit more comfortable, or just doing it straight without the fit ball is fine. It's a great one, like we said, for building strength. Also helps stretch and strengthen the pelvic floor, so both. Build your stamina. Often I like to do the squat against the wall and just hold it, and I actually get my clients to hold the squat and focus on their breathing, because what happens is the minute it starts to get painful, you want to come out of it, and so that instant reaction of, oh, the squat's hard and painful when you're holding it, is really good training for labor. So often I'll say, okay, so you're feeling this pain, or this, what we call in my classes, sensation, no pain. We try and redefine the word pain. And then you work through it. Then you practice the breathing, so you're a lot more prepared for your contractions during labor. I generally get them to hold their squats for about a minute, and that's about the average length of a contraction. So squats are fantastic. And if you end up doing kind of the full squat, the big deep full squat, that's also fantastic, because you can actually give birth in that position. And that's the ideal position, because you have obviously gravity helping you. You don't need to do as much pushing. But if you're not flexible and not feeling comfortable, even when you're not pregnant, when you're leading up to the labor, then it's going to be hard during birth. So you need to do that beforehand and leading up to it. There's one thing you need to know though, before giving birth in that position is make sure the baby's far enough down in the pelvis, because if you're in that position and the baby's too high in the pelvis, then it's not ideal. The baby has to be already kind of down, ready, and then the legs against your body help to bring the baby out.
And I think the thing about this whole process is not trying, like, obviously having techniques is amazing, and obviously you teaching women the sensations and being able to transition so that when they're having labor, when they're in labor, it can easily switch. They've been doing it for months. They can easily switch into that mode. Okay, I've done this, I've been through it, I've done worse than this. I'm just going to deep breathe for a minute, and then we're going to have a break, just like what they've been doing in your classes. But what you're saying about the positioning and everything like that, it is really about mother's intuition, isn't it? About our intuition and feeling into our bodies and following the position that we feel is right for us in that moment. So our bodies will let us know in what position we should be going in, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's huge. And that's a big thing that I teach my clients, is to really believe in themselves, because as women, we have, even though I haven't had children, we all have the deep knowing of how to give birth. That's been passed down to us, and it's there stored within us. And becoming used to our own body, becoming used to what our body needs. Ideally, we're listening to it before labor. We're in that mode in everyday life for all of us, even when we're not pregnant. So that when it does come to pregnancy, we still tap into that. We don't. We're listening to our intuition, and we're not always looking externally. So believing in ourselves is the key, or yourself, when giving birth, and really, tapping into the messages that our body is giving us. Like you say, what position to be in. Really, that's where knowing our body is so important, and Pilates and yoga are the ideal for that, because you're always focusing on which part is moving now, which muscle is activating, or where am I feeling that in my body, so you can translate that into the birth, for sure.
That sounds so exciting. It's so nice. Like, I love intuition, and I feel like we've lost our way a lot as we go out of our bodies, and we, ask other people all the time, is what I'm feeling okay? Is what I'm saying okay? Is this normal? We're always looking for other people to tell us what's right and what's normal for us, especially in pregnancy, especially in birth. And so we give away our power. But if we have some program like what you're talking about, where we have a few months or 6 months or whatever, or even a year or however long it is before to prepare ourselves and get in tune with ourselves, then we are the ones that are in the power, and we're the ones listening, because ultimately we're the only ones that really knows what's going on in our body. No one really knows except for our beautiful body, hey. and what's happened
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. So true. And yeah, I mean, I've heard many stories. I think all of us have, and I think all of us, have at times, we've all done it, not listened to our body. We've even heard the messages and we've even ignored them sometimes, that our body tells us. And to really trust that. And yeah, that's what I do often reinforce to the clients is, even a few moments at the end of class, just closing their eyes, tapping into how their body's feeling, even visioning the birth that they would like to have, putting their thoughts out there, because, we all know about manifesting, we all know about creating what we want, and, even that can be an element. Yeah. So lots of parts to it.
We're talking about some positions as well. We were chatting about positions on a ball. So when I was pregnant, I was told by my student midwife to sit on a ball, get the baby in a good position. And I thought that I'd be using my ball a lot in pregnancy, in my labour. But when it came time to labour, I couldn't sit on anything besides the toilet because it was hurting too much, the pressure of the baby's head coming through. And I see lots of images of women sitting on balls. Could you talk to me about the benefit of the ball and also other positions that we can use? Because I know that they're often in birthing rooms for women as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I teach a lot of exercises on the ball because it's brilliant. When you're obviously further along in your pregnancy, your body's heavier, you're feeling more uncomfortable. So even standing, often that creates cramping in the calves. If you're standing a lot, I show women how to relieve stretches for the cramping calves. But when it comes to giving during birth, in labor, if you're just sitting on the ball, that's one way of kind of releasing tension in your body by not having to stand or not having to sit. The ball's nice and soft. I often get my clients to move a lot on the ball. I do circles, because the more you move your body, the less tension you have in your body, and then the less pain you'll feel. It's kind of like a little ripple effect. So if you're holding still and tensing, the body will start to tense, and then the pain sets in. So if you can be sitting but moving ideally, but like you said, you had some pain, which is everyone's different. I teach my clients as well to kind of lean on the ball. So you have, instead of being on your hands and knees on the floor, you can rest your arms on the ball, on your knees, and you can kind of move, with the ball. It's a nice way to take some pressure off, to sort of come onto your hands and knees to help relieve the pressure of the pelvis, the weight of the baby on the pelvis. A lot of these exercises I teach in my classes to get the clients comfortable, so they know as soon as they go into the room what they can do, because they've done it every week, in class, and it's second nature. So the ball can be your friend. It's definitely helpful in lots of different positions, not just sitting. And even, to kind of rest on, with your arms. So sometimes you just need to find different positions. Like you said, you need to maneuver around, listen to your body, and find what's comfortable.
And you're talking about your classes, which sound awesome, but I'm imagining most of us can't get to those classes. So you've got an online program. Hey, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. I have, my classes are really popular. A lot of women come back to me and report great things. It's one of my favorite classes to teach, because I just love hearing how much it helps them. That's the key. It's educating them. It's not just an exercise class. And a lot of them can't make it to class. They're traveling, or they don't live here, obviously, in KL all the time, because I live in Malaysia and have a lot of expats come and go. So I created my online studio. So I teach basically a lot of my classes online. They're pre-recorded videos, and you'll see a lot of my mums in the classes as well. And basically all the stuff I've been talking about, helping women to build stamina, strength, flexibility, even some tutorials on understanding your body, you know, as the body changes, what to look out for, that sort of thing. And I'm adding new videos all the time. So it's a good resource if you can't get to class especially, and also just as an add-on to classes if you have classes in your area. You know, it's a good, and the classes range between 10 minutes, half an hour, roughly. Yeah, using the ball or without, so you don't have to have the ball. But I do highly recommend getting a ball, and not just for, you will use it as well after. This is one little tip that my clients have been very grateful for. You can use it after, when you've had your baby, to bounce your baby to sleep, sitting on the ball like a little, you know, bouncer, or breastfeed. Yeah, so it's not going to go to waste.
I love it. I think, to be honest with you, most of us pregnant women, not that I'm pregnant now, but most of us end up getting a ball at some point or another anyways. I think we kind of gravitate towards the ball, so that's no problems at all. But I love the idea of having an online class. So like you said, you can pop down to a local place and do one lesson if you're not able to get out that week or whatever. You know, you've always got that availability to jump on in your online class at home, in the comfort of your home. If you're not feeling comfortable, I really love to do things in my home. I can't always make classes outside, so I love the idea of having something in my home, and I actually do exercises on an app at home as well. So it's just amazing to have that availability. But you were talking to me about, tell me about your class, because you've got a pregnancy class and also a postnatal, and you also have a special offer for our audience today as well, don't you?
Yes, yeah, I have a fantastic postnatal program, which is currently 3 months long. I may start to reduce it a little just to help, you know, people fit it into their life. But ideally, you are doing these exercises for 3 months. It's postnatal is a time to really listen again to your body, not rush back to exercise. A lot of people want to, you know, get back to their, wherever they were before pregnancy, fitness level, and sometimes they can jump in too quick, which I find. So a nice guided program that I have helps people understand where they're at with their core strength, and helps them build it slowly from the inside out. So that's actually available again online. And for your lovely followers, the program's half price as well if they are a member. And I forgot to mention, sorry, the prenatal one I'm offering for your followers, 1 month off. 1 month free. 1 month off, 1 month free, if they want. And then if they stay on, they get to access the postnatal program as well. And it helps a lot with if they need strengthening pelvic floor, they need strengthening the lower tummy muscles after C-section, all of that. So it's safe for cesarean, and good if they happen to have the condition diastasis rectus. I don't know if you've heard of that one. So
I've got that one.
Okay.
That's why I want to do your program, because I don't want to end up in surgery, and unfortunately, unless you do the fitness and exercise and naturally heal it, the next choice is surgery. Nobody wants to have to go to surgery. And I think that a lot of pregnant women, we don't realize when we're pregnant or before we have our babies, just the changes that happen to our body. You know, we don't talk about stomach separation. We don't talk about pelvic prolapse. We don't talk about the fact that, you know, we could be coming out into your knickers, or, you know, you could have problems going to the toilet. You know, it's just a massive change to the body. And so to have the hope and to know that there's programs out there that can actually resolve those issues naturally, just with a little bit of effort, is just amazing and life-changing for women, you know.
It really is. It's I'm blessed to help so many women in this area, and this is obviously I love helping prenatal women, but postnatal is more of even my passion, because I see so many women who they don't know, they're not connected to their body anymore. They don't know the body that they have anymore, and they don't feel sometimes good about themselves. You know, I've worked with women who've had postnatal depression, and the joy that they get from maybe even fixing or improving their posture and feeling, even, you know, not hunched, feeling open, feeling confident again, and then finding the core connection. It's which they never thought they maybe would have again, but they do. It's amazing. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I am totally in love with your programs, and I'm so glad you jumped on and talked to us about it today. I'm going to share all your information, your website and your socials, so people can get in touch and get that special offer. Even if they try the 1 month free trial, that's amazing to see how it is and see if it's their thing. I'll put the link and everything in there for everyone. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Ashley. Really appreciate it. Lovely chatting.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching this episode. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, our mailing list, and follow us in our social channels so you never miss an episode. All our details are listed in the description box in YouTube. I look forward to bringing you another great episode next week. Welcome to our circle of support, Mama, with the Motherhood Circle. See you next week. With love, Ashley.